What's up guys, NRF18 here, back with another video, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking, my least favorite to favorite NASCAR drivers in the, Cup Series in 2020, well, some of them. Now, this is my fourth take, my last one. I thought it was gonna be like 20 minutes, it ended up being 42 minutes, so I wanted to make this a lot shorter. I had a few issues during it, but yeah, so let's go ahead and I'll show you guys and tell you guys why I put these drivers in, like, you know, specific areas. So I'm gonna start off with the least favorites. I put Quinn out there because, you know, I am disappointed in Starcom for putting him in there instead of keeping Lane Castle. Sure, it would have been a lot cheaper to have Quinn Half there, but, you know, I'd rather have a more experienced driver in that back marker than, you know, a young guy who, you know, caused a big wreck at Texas. And yet, that's why I don't like Quinn Half. And he only had like 5 starts, so I guess it's probably money that brought him into that ride. Basically, I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go on to Michael McDowell. What I don't like about Michael McDowell is that, you know, he gets pissed off way too easily. You know, he Bubba Wallace just gave him the bumper at Bristol because, like, you know, it was that one groove Bristol for the All-Star race and for, you know, the All-Star race and the All-Star Open, and all Bubba Wallace did was move McDowell out of the way for the lead. And that's, like, you know, that was how Bristol was raced, because, you know, it was only a one groove track basically. And then Michael McDowell got pissed about that and he destroyed Bubba Wallace's car. Next, the reason why I don't like Kevin Harvick is because, you know, you gotta have someone to hate, really, and I hate Kevin Harvick. I'm not a big fan of the stuff he's done in the past, and the reason, and, like, you know, he's done some dumb stuff, and his team is just bad, in my opinion. In 2018, he got disqualified twice. And yeah, that wraps up the dislike category. I mean, the least favorite category. Now, the dislike, I dislike Joey Logano because, you know, he's just, I don't know, I didn't like that he won the championship in 2018 just by only winning 3 races. And I get it's not his fault, but it's like, it's NASCAR's fault for making the points system that bad. And, like, you know, I'm not a big fan of stuff he's done in the past as well. But yeah, and, you know, he just, I don't like him. And I don't like Corey LaJoie because, you know, as even he has said in the past that he's really petty. I don't like petty people. Besides Richard Petty, I kind of like Richard Petty. And, like, you know, I did not like the drama he caused with Denny Hamlin in Twitter. You know, I just don't like that part about him. And yeah, Cole Custer is there because, like, you know, he was a very big disappointment for me in this year. He arguably is in the best equipment, and besides Kentucky, he's done the worst, I believe. So yeah. And and then I put Ryan Preece in there because, you know, I like dislike the way he, I don't know, got into Cup because I don't think he ran any full-time Xfinity. and I don't even know how he ended up in JTG equipment. I guess he was just like a driver that could fill in for AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, and he's only had like a few memorable moments, both of them being in well, he only has one, which was a battling for the lead at Atlanta for a few laps before getting screwed over by Rick Ware Racing in pit road. And then Daniel Suarez, he has disappointed me really badly. He came into Cup replacing Carl Edwards, who suddenly retired. And he was in top, like, you know, 5-star equipment for 3 years and didn't get any wins, didn't make the playoffs, in any year. I mean, I think he's finished like 17th, 18th, and 17th, I think. Not quite sure, but he was close, but he just didn't get into the playoffs for some dumb reason. And then Chase Elliott, I dislike him, because, like, you know, people like his personality, and I don't know how women find him attractive. I mean, ew. But yeah. So I don't like Chase Elliott. He's not as good as Ryan Blaney, in my opinion. Ryan Blaney is a way better. Even in 2019, in my opinion, Ryan Blaney was way better than Chase Elliott. And then I have Eric Almirola in my is that neutral? Yeah, so I have him in my neutral because, you know, I don't really like him, but I don't really hate him at the same time. You know, it's like he kind of disappointed me in 2019. I don't know what happened. It was probably like his crew chief or something. I'm not quite sure. It probably was, because his crew chief with Clint Boyer this year, they haven't done quite as well as Almirola has with Mike Bugger-Rabbage, I think is how you say his name. But yeah, Almirola, you know, I'm just not, like, I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't really hate him. It's basically all I can say for every driver in the neutral section. Ty Dillon, I like him because, like, you know, he has a Christian background. I'm a Christian as well. And, like, you know, he is, like, he's shocked me a few times when he won 2 stages in 2019, one at Bristol by, like, in a photo finish, kind of, and at Talladega, which I said he was really dominant at Talladega in 2019. It was impressive. And then Chris Buescher, he's neutral to me because, like, you know, he's just there in the Cup Series nowadays. It's like in 2019 he had some highlights. Most of these drivers in the neutral had highlights in 2019. But in 2020, he has just done worse. I mean, Chris Buescher did finish 3rd at Daytona, but that's because, like, you know, his teammate got flipped over. I think Buescher would have finished like 4th or 5th, but he got 3rd. And yeah. Speaking of his teammate, I have Ryan Newman there. I haven't really hated him, and I haven't really liked him, really. I didn't like that he blocked Matt DiBenedetto for the win at Bristol in 2019, I mean. And yeah, I get that Newman was just trying to defend for a playoff spot, but that was it. I mean, like, I think he still would have had a better chance at making the playoffs since, like, you know, Johnson had his issues at Indy to, like, eliminate him from playoff contention. And at Truex, he's just, like, been a mad driver to me. He's been a crybaby. I didn't really like him because he was, like, a crybaby after he lost to Logano at Martinsville. I couldn't really see tears, but I could tell he wanted to cry. He probably did cry in his hauler or whatever it's called, RV, after the race. And yeah, that's all I can say about Truex. William Byron, he has disappointed me, and he hasn't disappointed me, but he hasn't, like, exceeded my expectations. He came into the Cup Series when he was like 20. I wish drivers had, like, an age limit to when they could enter the Cup Series. I wish you could, like, enter the Cup Series only when you're, like, 23 or 24, in my opinion. Because then, like, maybe a driver, maybe they can have, like, maybe 2 years in trucks, maybe 1 year in ARCA, 2 years in trucks, and then maybe 3 years in Xfinity is what I would think. But yeah, so he has disappointed me in 2020. I thought he would do a lot better, but because of the no practice and qualifying, that has, like, ruined his chances of, like, winning a race. I can't recall any time that he's gone close to winning a race this year. So yeah, big oof for Willie B. Now let's go on to my what is it? No, they're still neutral. So next neutral is Eric Jones. He has been neutral to me, like, ever since I started watching NASCAR in 2018. He's just been there, in my opinion. He has a couple wins, one of them beating my boy, but that's it. In 2018, it's because it was a win at Daytona, of all places. You have to have luck to win there. And, like, this man has very bad luck. Like, very, very bad luck. But then it's like, it's probably his crew chief that is, like, making, like, very bad pit calls, and then that destroys his chances of winning races. He had Talladega this year locked up, but, Blaney, like, turned him, basically, or moved him out of the way. And then next I have Austin Dillon on the list. He's just been a mad driver, as I said, with most of these drivers on the neutral list. I haven't hated him. I haven't liked him that much. What I did like about him this year was, like, after he won Texas, somehow he, like, bashed Gen Z, which is kind of hilarious, in my opinion. And yeah. So next on the list is Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, he's just been there, in my opinion. He hasn't exceeded any of my expectations. He hasn't reached any of my expectations, really. I thought he would have at least 2 wins this year. I think he's on track to win no races this year. And he's arguably in like, not the best, but, like, as good as Cole Custer's equipment. But yeah. So next on the list, or no, now we have my like drivers. So first on the like list, I have Brennan Poole. I like him because he's, like, an underdog. He deserves better equipment. He was in Chip Ganassi equipment in Xfinity, but then, stuff happened with DC Solar, which screwed them over. That kind of rhymed. Yeah. I wish Chip Ganassi opened up, like, 4 cars for their team. Like, they should have Kurt Busch, Ross Chastain, Brennan Poole, and maybe John Hunter Nemechek. That would be awesome, but that would be too many young guys probably. Next, I have Brad Keselowski. He's like my second favorite Penske driver. And yeah, I like that he is very he speaks his mind about everything that happens in the sport. I think he said a few things about the next gen. He's every major thing that's happened in NASCAR. He is brought up some interesting takes. He's very business smart is what I should say. He should run NASCAR in my opinion. Next we have Matty D. I like him because he was an underdog in 2019 at Bristol. Who shouldn't hate him? Who shouldn't like him is what I should say. Who shouldn't hate him? I mean, like him, bro. I mean, he was doing really good at Bristol until 11 to go. Ryan Newman decided to be a really thick roadblock and just destroy. He made Matty D get damage. That's basically what slowed him down. That allowed Denny Hamlin to catch up and win. Yeah. Next, you guys might be surprised about this. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I like him because I like that he is very aggressive. I like aggressive drivers. And I like drivers who do I like aggressive drivers, and Ricky Stenhouse is an aggressive driver. With JTG equipment this year, he finished 4th at Charlotte. It was either 3rd or 4th. I can't remember. It's probably 4th. But he was he didn't wreck or anything. He was just he was being cautious, not trying to wreck his equipment. If he wasn't so aggressive, he would have been he would have been a really good driver. Yeah. So next on the list is Tyler Reddick. He's my favorite Xfinity driver. And when he got into Cup, I think he immediately did well. He got a top 10 at one of the most hardest tracks, just like the person who's next to him on the list, John Hunter Nemechek. These two, Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek, they have been arguably the best, best consistent rookies so far this season. And they are both on this list because you couldn't hate them because they are arguably in the worst equipment of the 4 best rookies this year. And they've both done the best. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek has caused a few cautions these past couple weeks, but he is still holding on. I think he's done a lot better than David Reagan has done, which is pretty impressive considering David Reagan was I think it was in his 5th or 6th year, or what am I saying? John Hunter Nemechek, a rookie, is doing better than a veteran David Reagan could do in the 38 car. So let's move on to my favorite drivers. So the first one on my favorites list was Denny Hamlin. I didn't really like him in 2018, but in 2019, I gained a lot of respect for him. He won a lot of races. That's that's what, like, made me like him. And I've been personally cheering for him whenever, like, he and Harvick are battling for the lead this year. So, yeah, that's nice. And next on the list is my favorite Ford driver, Ryan Blaney. He is a lot more consistent than Chase Elliott, who I showed earlier on this list in my least favorites. And yeah, Ryan Blaney is better than Chase Elliott in my opinion. Even before 2020, Ryan Blaney was still better than Chase Elliott because, Blaney shines at the best moments when, Chase Elliott, he does really bad in the later. Chase Elliott does really good in the beginning or in the center of the year, but when it comes to the end, Chase Elliott is bad. But Ryan Blaney, he is good throughout the whole season. And that's what I like about him, is that he's very consistent. Now, next to him is his buddy Bubba Wallace. I like Bubba Wallace, especially after this year, since he personally has brought several sponsors to Richard Petty Motorsports. His most recent being DoorDash, I believe. DoorDash sucks, by the way. Never order or never ask them to deliver food for you. But anyway, yeah. Bubba Wallace, he is, Richard Petty bought some new cars this year, and that has made them increase their success of the year in 2019. And Bubba Wallace is he got his crew chief. He won 4 races in trucks with 4 or 5 races in 2014 with, and they have made their way up to 21st in points, I believe, after Bubba Wallace. For the past 2 seasons, he's finished, I think, 29th in points. So yeah. Next is Clint Bowyer. Who can't hate Clint Bowyer? Who can't love him? I mean, he is my favorite Stewart Haas driver. He has such a great personality. I hope he goes to Fox commentary in 2021. Next is Kyle Busch. Of course, I like him because, he's my favorite driver. He's on my profile picture on YouTube. Why Kyle Busch is my favorite driver is because, when I got into NASCAR, I heard that he won at every single racetrack. So I was like, you got to be really good to win at every racetrack. So I should root for this guy, and I have been rooting for him ever since. So yeah. Next is Jimmy Johnson. I like Jimmy Johnson, who wouldn't, because this man won 7 championships in 10 years. Pretty remarkable. And I hope he's not gonna have the chance to get that 8th championship and break the record. But he has he has nothing else to prove in the sport, really, because he's just that great. Finally on the list is Alex Bowman. He is my favorite Chevy driver. I've just liked him his paint schemes, and I like that Dale Jr. actually picked Alex Bowman to replace him after 2017. If you guys want to hear a funny story real quick, in 2018, I made a little out of the groove, basically, but I called it In the Room, and I actually picked Alex Bowman to win the race at Chicagoland, and he did. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if this was a bit too long. I'll try to trim this. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.